Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Love Your Vibe podcast. I'm your host, Sean Robert Grant. I notice sometimes I say Sean Grant, sometimes I say Sean Robert Grant. But either way, happy to be here. So hello to everybody from the East Coast, West Coast, North, and South. Thank you so much for being here, for just taking the time out to listen in, tune in. Thank you for your amazing energy. It has really been a great experience to have so many like-minded individuals come on and be open to what is being taught, said, but more importantly, filtered through the divine. And so I just really want to take a moment to give you gratitude and thank you for your support. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for just got a new comment on iTunes. So guys, if you're feeling some type of way about the podcast, feel free to go comment. We're available on all the major sites, I believe. iTunes, Google Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Podchaser. There's a number of them. But anywho, feel free to comment if you feel like you want to give back, because everything you give, energy included, helps. So thank you for that. And so whether you're listening to this not in the past, whether you're listening to this in the present or in the future, welcome. And today is going to be really a fantastic message about something that you can take into every area of your life. And so, for me, this has always been big, and I have to thank my mom, because my mom is and there's my cat. My mom is one of the biggest influences as far as allowing me to put myself into a position to always be a giver, right? To always be a giver, but more importantly, to always give from the heart, freely and lovingly, and to know that, when you do that, as we used to say back when we were religious, she says, God will take care of the rest. Now, I still believe in God, but more so in a spiritual magnificence within myself and around me. But she was right. When you give freely, God will take care of the rest. And sure enough, this morning, I was taking out my computer because I had a talk I was giving yesterday, the first class of Your Spirit, Your Business, which was amazing for me. But an old fortune that I got when I had a fortune cookie, and I kept the fortune, and it says, generosity will repay itself sooner than you imagine, right? And I'm like, wow, the universe is just absolutely on point with this. And it's true, because sometimes when you're doing the act, well, actually not sometimes, all the time when you're doing the act because of what's in your heart. You're not doing it to get something in return. You're doing it because you love to do it, right? And when you love to do it, the universe rewards that. So it's like the first thing we ever need to start doing is loving ourselves, right? Giving so much love to ourselves regardless of what anything is like. What anybody says, what anybody does, we got to stand in that mirror and we got to love ourselves to the degree of being able to do the very best we can with what we have. Because when we are willing to give to ourselves, then the world can give to us. Basically is what it comes down to. When we're willing to give to ourselves, the world can give to us. And so when we really dive into that, what does that mean? That means just fill yourself up. Any leaks you have, plug them with divine love, right? Anything that's taking away from the potential love that can resonate within you, right? All you have to do is just plug it. Plug it. Plug it with that love, and then fill your own self up, because when you're filled up, you're not looking in so many places to take. You're not looking in so many places to figure out, like, okay, how am I going to get this or how am I going to get that? Because you can give yourself everything if you allow yourself to, because here's the thing. Everybody is just a mirror to us, right? So if we're giving to ourselves, once again, everybody's going to give to us. If we're taking from ourselves, everybody's going to take from us, right? You know, there's a great quote that, you know, I think a number of people have said it, and they say nothing in life is free. And so at first, when you hear this, you think, okay, well, they're talking about money. But it's not about money. It's that you have to give the energy of something. Sometimes it's just yourself in order to receive something in return. Anything that is given with the expectation of not giving anything in return is completely empty. It's empty, right? And needless to say, sometimes you encounter certain people that have empty energy, which means they're what society has termed to be energy vampires, low vibrational people, people who don't really understand what it means to reciprocate love in a circular motion, whether it comes in the form of money, whether it comes in the form of gifts, whether it comes in the form of wisdom, whether it comes in the form of good deeds, right? And so my biggest objective today is to prevent that, right? And so we talked a little bit about the first thing that you can do to prevent that, and basically that just comes down to filling yourself up. Fill yourself up with love. Because here's the thing, when you fill yourself up with love, divine love especially, there's nothing to get, right? Because you're already moving from a place of overflow, right? So that's the first thing. Fill yourself up. It's there. It's just waiting to be accessed by you. Fill yourself up with as much love as you possibly can. And allow that to just open your heart to an endless amount of unconditional love from Source. And I tell you, that in itself is greater than anything you can receive from anybody else or anything in this world, is that love from Source. Because all of a sudden, then you realize you begin to realize that it wasn't as important as it once was, right? To get this from everybody. And here's the most important aspect to remember. Never try to get anything from someone you can't give to yourself, right? Never try to get anything from someone you can't give to yourself. And this is so important because the divine has set it up to where we can give to ourselves in amazing ways. We can give to ourselves in the most amazing ways if we allow Spirit to do so, right? If we allow Spirit to do so. And in allowing Spirit to do so, it creates an effortless opportunity to watch things blossom, to watch things bloom, to watch things grow into these truly wonderful experiences in life, right? But we have to cultivate that within ourselves. And so how do we do that? Well, anytime you want something, anytime you're looking to manifest something, whether it's a relationship, whether it's success, you have to know that. You have to believe that within yourself, that it is already done, that it's already true. Because here's the thing, if you don't, you just can't get it, because all of a sudden you're always reaching and that thing is always outside of you, as opposed to that thing always being on the inside, right? It's always outside of you. as opposed to that thing always being on the inside, right? Because let's think about it. We live in unity consciousness, right? We live in unity consciousness. And unity consciousness is all about everything being connected, nothing being separate at any point in time ever at all, which means everything is connected. Even though from a physical perception, it does not look like it, everything is connected. Everything is connected, right? And then when you know that everything is connected, you no longer need to reach outside yourself. You just need to reach within and cultivate the energy and allow that thing to come into your life, right? And if you see stuff coming into your life that you don't really like, you have to ask yourself, okay, what type of energy did I project to allow this thing to unfold in this way, right? Because it's all an inside job. Anybody who thinks that it's any different than that is going to struggle. They're going to struggle. Anybody that thinks that an inside job is going to struggle. Sorry, anybody who thinks that it's anything other than an inside job is going to struggle, because you're forever reaching, and you can never be fulfilled when you're reaching outside of yourself, right? I was doing a class yesterday with my wife. It's like a spiritual entrepreneurship class, Your Spirit, Your Business. I even started a podcast with it. Really, really some great insight that came through that I'm going to do a podcast about later if you want to check it out. But one of the things that came through to me was, you see so many people looking to get stuff, but hadn't cultivated that knowing, that desire that they already have it, right? And for me, it's hard sometimes because I've lived this. This has been my passion. This has been my end all be all, is to connect to the divine and have the truth revealed to me in a way that will forever allow me to continually evolve my consciousness, or just evolve within the consciousness of unity, of the expression of God. And so, you see all of this unfold, and you really think to yourself, you feel compassion. You feel compassion because you want to help, but you also have to realize that when people aren't there yet, it's the love you offer to them that allows you to sort of like, how do I put this? It's the love you offer to them that allows them to really continue to look within until all that they need is revealed, right? And for me, that's difficult because I've been relentless in my, I don't want to say pursuit, but in my evolution of spiritual growth and spiritual insight and spiritual truth. And it's in me, right? So if I know that I want something, and this ties into today's message, if I know that I want something, I know that the energy of that thing is already inside of me, right? And the energy that's most important that can bring this thing into my physical existence is that energy of love, which is why I titled this podcast, Be Free and Loving with Your Energy, right? Because you got to be free and loving with yourself and everything that you want. So it's important. It's so important to know. It's so important to see, to observe, to go within, right? To really go within and cultivate the type of divine love from source that overflows. Because here's the thing, when you're overflowing, you're just going to experience the overflow in your life, right? and everything's going to work in perfect divine order. All you have to do is make divine love your first and foremost priority, and your entire energy field will shift. And I'm telling you, this is the answer to everything. It's the answer to everything. If you're struggling in your finances, choose divine love. If you're struggling in your job, choose divine love. Struggling in your relationship, choose divine love. You're struggling in your mental health, choose divine love. Surrender to it. Surrender to divine love and allow it to permeate every fiber of your existence. Because here's the thing. You're connected because of divine love to every fiber of existence. So get on that wavelength. Feel that love, and then you just can't help but to allow it to move and flow to anything that comes within your path. So what I want you to take from this lesson is to be free and to be loving with your energy. Don't always think about what am I going to get out of this. Don't always think about what am I going to get out of this. Think more along the lines of it's the giving that helps me. It's the giving that allows me to be the very best that I can be. So I'm going to give you an intention here real quick. So if you would do your hookup, if it's your first time on here and you don't know what a hookup is, just take your middle finger and your right hand, place it on the center of your eyebrows, your third eye, and then take your middle finger on your left hand, put it on the center of your chest. Take a deep breath for me. Focus on compassion. As my cat squeals in the background. Focus on compassion. I have compassion for him because he wants to go outside. Good. Take another deep breath for me. Perfect. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go into this intention, and we're going to set this intention for you to just be absolutely inundated within divine love. Dearest God in me, O benevolent spirit that is in each and every one of us, it is my intention to easily and effortlessly manifest an unlimited amount of divine love within each and every person that's on this podcast, that will listen to this podcast, in a comforting, joyful, easeful way under grace that is perfect in every sense. And so it is. Guys, have a wonderful day. We will talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye.